Where is the screen? Do. Let's hang out and chill for a bit. Let's see if anybody actually joins. Because I am bored on a Sunday and I got nothing to do. All I'm trying to do is make some money. Da-da-da-da-da. Hey everybody, what's going on? We got like 6 people on. Cool. Let me add to the chat. Hey guys, we got 9 people, 8 people, 8 people on. I was practicing the fib on Nike. Oh, cool, dude. I'm glad you're actually like. I'm glad you're actually using it. I actually haven't seen Nike's chart in so long, man. I haven't seen Nike's chart in forever. Do I have anything set up here? No, I don't. Actually, oh, what? I did not know that Nike broke out like that. This would be a perfect setup, actually. Oh, look at, wow, that's a huge gap, though. That's going to have to get filled eventually. Huge gap. Let's go on the weekly. Previous. Like right there, relative low. This was back when? 2020. Yeah, that low is way too low. We'll probably use this low. What low is that? I hate that it's like right there. That should be okay. Oh, dude, Nike looks like a perfect play for this. Shout out to you, bro. Let me zoom in a little bit because this is actually solid example of what I was teaching you guys throughout the last couple videos. Look at that. Solid candle breakout. Look at that. Look at that's perfect. Absolutely perfect, man. What are you? Donnie? Or Danny, sorry, bro. Yeah. Absolute perfect example. This is it's a perfect example. I will be playing Nike coming tomorrow. 100%. I mean, of course, if Nike rallies like pre-market up to like 166, then I'm definitely staying out of Nike, right? But look, perfect example of the breakout strategy that I was teaching you guys. And again, you need to kind of see another thing that I really haven't like taught you guys is look at the what is it called? Like a good way to forecast certain stocks, right? Because Nike, it's good, but it generally doesn't like to spike up and stay high like that for a very long time, right? Like it took a while for Nike to go from back from COVID lows of what $60 to where it is now. Like it's not a huge spiker, right? Like it stayed trading sideways, right? But I'll talk about that a different day. But Danny coming in with the sauce, dude. This is super perfect example of what to do on that breakout strategy. So again, what did I teach you guys, right? What the heck did I just do? What is this? Oh wait, that's the never mind, sorry, that's the pattern, that's the candle pattern. I don't need that. So what are we doing? Conservatively, you do want to go down about 5%. I would actually recommend now to doing like a 2.5% on the downside. So like we'll do that, right? 2.57. And then again, we'll stick to like right there. And then towards the upside, we'll do again like 2.57, sure. Then the perfect thing to do would be 16398. Right there. 16867. Right there. Then this would basically be your general area to take profit and to have your runners, right? So what did I teach you guys in the last couple of videos? We're going to get our horizontal, place it on, boom, one right there. Second, and your first take profit would be right here. So essentially what's going to happen for Nike, which is a play that I'm exactly going to be doing. Thank you to Danny for, shouting this one out, because this is a perfect example of what's happening with Nike right now. Breaking out previous all-time highs, maybe like a couple calls out, a month out. I'd say maybe minimum, because Nike's not a big runner like this. Nike doesn't usually run pretty crazy like this, so I'd say maybe 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Oh man, yeah, it would take I would say minimum like maybe like 6 weeks out. I'd say so, like a month and a half out for Nike to play out. Again, this more than likely, this is going to hit. There's a strong probability that this is going to hit. I'm telling you guys right now, there's a very, very, very strong chance that this is actually this Nike play is gonna hit, especially with the momentum riding on it right now. I mean, just looking at all the charts, look at the weekly, look at the daily. Daily had a huge wick up candle. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Nike has a really solid chance of hitting these relatively soon. So yeah, your first take profit on Nike would be 164. Second would be 166. This one seems a little too low, actually. I feel like this one would probably need to be like up here somewhere. Maybe around. I gotta refresh my thingy. But this looks more evened out, right, from fib level. So I'd say if you buy like 4 calls for Nike, sell 2 of them right here, sell 1 right here, sell the other right there. That's chef's kiss, bro. Whatever you might call it. That's the perfect example of what I would think it can actually go to. Yeah, I definitely think it can hit 164. Just looking at previous relative lows to relative highs, right? So that's what I taught you guys. Relative low, relative high. So the relative high is the December 21st price that was made back in 2020. Relative low would probably be this bear candle right here, made back on October 26th. So I wouldn't really use any price from this range as a high. It would have to be this high, and you would have to use a relative low from a historic low. You can't use price in this general area because it's just been consolidating, right? It hit peak. There's been no highs created. There's been absolutely nothing created. You have to use this peak from December 21st and the relative low of right here of October 26th, which is like what, 118 and like 50 cents. That would probably be the relative low. You can also use a relative low down here. I'd be more conservative with the fibs, and I'd probably use the low rate. I'd probably use this low of October 26th. But honestly, perfect. Here's what might be able to happen, right? So there's a chance that Nike can do either it opens up and it shoots straight up, to 163, or it's gonna do something like this. Probably, I guarantee you, it's gonna do something like this, right? It might retest that wick, or it's gonna shoot up. With the momentum that Nike has, I highly doubt, especially with all the charts looking relatively bullish, right? Look at that. It's been bullish ever since the pandemic, right? But I can guarantee you it's gonna do something like this. It's either gonna shoot up and go to 164, or it's gonna come back down. It's gonna retest that previous high. It's gonna use it as support, and it's gonna bounce all the way up to 164. But like I said, minimum for Nike, I'd probably be buying like a month and a half out calls just to be safe, to be completely safe. But perfect example of how to use a breakout strategy, to be completely honest. Absolutely awesome. Super awesome example by Danny D right there, bro. Super good. Let's go over through the comments, bro. Macho Man, dude. You made it, man. Good. I'm happy to see you right here, bro. And just going through the breakout strategy and stuff and seeing what can happen. What's up, everybody? What's up, Marcos? What's up, Jada? Jada Rula. How's practicing the fib as well? Good. Keep practicing that that breakout strategy. As a you know what, we can use. Somebody give me a ticker, man. Somebody give me like a random ticker that that has like any thoughts on AMD. I'm planning on buying Fubu if it retests and finds support at 32. Since you said it will run up to 40-ish dollars, can you tell us if you change your mind on Fubu? No, no. I'm still holding my calls on Fubu. I haven't changed my mind on anything. I still think Fubu is going to keep running. And I think my calls are expiring like in a month. I forgot when I bought them, but they have plenty of time. I do think Fubu is going to keep running, though. I don't think it's going to go back down. I mean, we can look at the chart. Is it Fubu or Fubo? Fubo, right? Yeah, Fubo TV. Yeah. Do I have anything running? I'll take this off for the weekly. Yeah, I mean weekly's still bullish. I mean, there's no reason for see, there's no support. There's no support between 32 and like $40, which is the only reason why I was thinking that we were gonna run up that high, just because there's no real support. This might be no. I was gonna say that there might be some support at $34, but no, I would have to disagree. I mean, I would have to not go ahead and say that there might be. I don't think there's any support. Oh, what did I just do? I thought it was like doubled and stuff, but yeah, I don't think there's any support. I don't think there's any support up until $40. I do think that we're gonna run pretty nicely to $40 again, and I can guarantee you 100%. You guys can use a breakout strategy on Fubo if it actually ends up breaking these previous highs of $62. And because Fubo actually has a relatively, what is it called? A relatively good momentum, like, what is it called? What is that word called? It generally, Fubo is a growth stock, so it tends to make these huge spikes up in price pretty fast. So you don't have to wait all that long, right? So I mean, again, we can use highs right here. We're gonna use lows back of like, I think this is like our lowest point was probably this candle on July 6th of 2020. I'd probably go with that right here. I wouldn't go as far as using this candle just because I want to be a little bit more conservative, but I would maybe even use this wick at September 21st of 2020. We'll actually go with that one. So, if we somehow if Fubo ends up breaking previous highs of $62, next price range or next price target would be around $96. I'd be pretty comfortable saying that it might be headed that way, right? So in a case like this, I might actually do that 5% on the downside. Actually right here, right? So right, like 90, like 91, like right there. I'd say halfway point is like what? That's like decently halfway for both. So I'd say generally, I can delete this. Generally, you would have your first take profit here on Fubo. Again, first take profit would be here. On Fubo would be right at $91. Second would be at 96, which is that fib. And then third profit would be at 101. This would be your runner, right? Your runner would be right here unless you're buying shares. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I do think that everything is bullish on the chart. There's no reason for me to be bearish on Fubo right now. I definitely think that we're going to keep running all the way towards $40. I mean, I can go into it a little bit more details, but the main concept of what's going on with Fubo is generally we created peak lows. We kept running on the day chart. We're still relatively bullish. On the week chart, again, still bullish. We actually just had I mean, what people would call it a golden cross, which is that 50 MA going over the 200 MA on the weekly, which is basically this, right? This cross right here. You guys can see that. That's what you would call a golden cross. It's just what the 50 MA crosses over the 200 MA and gives you kind of an idea of, okay, we're now again in a bull market, or it's completely bullish right now. There's another strategy that I like to use. It's called divergence. That's usually I use that only for forex though. But if I don't see any plays on like in stocks, I tend to go to divergence to see if there's anything that I can use. But that's a little bit more complicated of a strategy. I don't want to get into that because there's a lot that goes into it. I use that more for currencies as opposed to stocks and stuff. But yeah, I kind of uh, I kind of talked a little bit too much, but I mean, yeah, I the real reason I'm bullish on Fubo is there's no support. There's no support. There's nothing here from 32 all the way up to $40. Like, I mean, that's generally why I think I'm pretty bullish. Like, it's gonna go right here, right? There's nothing stop. It's not gonna trail sideways. Oh man, that's my baby. But yeah, bullish. Still think we're gonna go up higher. No reason for me to think it's not. I can see PLTR all-time highs by next year. TA on Shiba Inu, please. I'll do. Oh yeah, look at that. AMD Tilray up. Tilray still holding to September. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm still gonna hold Tilray till September. Nah, I'm still bullish. I mean, that's kind of it really. Wish thoughts, will Monday run or slump? Wish. I haven't looked at Wish honestly. Wish. Ooh, that's kind of. You know what? It might. This might actually. I don't want to say it's gonna run, but I mean. Uh, I wouldn't even know how to play Wish right now, honestly. It's been running though. I mean, it's been running. Relative lows. I wouldn't even know what to use as far as like lows or so. I would probably have to do this. See, in a situation like Wish, I wouldn't even know how to use the breakout strategy because I hate I hate using forward price to kind of determine where the stock might actually end up going, right? Because relative, I mean, your relative high would be right probably here at $15.49. That would be your relative high. The next one would probably be at $20, $20, and the actual all-time high would be at $32. So if this were to actually break, if this 32 would actually end up breaking, that would be amazing because you can basically take that up to the upside, right? Um, if we had to go a little bit on the for Wish, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Wish was gonna react to any of this. To be honest, I don't know I don't know what it's gonna do. I mean, I guess we can kind of use this. I mean, we can kind of use this as a recent relative high. I don't know how accurate this might be, just because Wish hasn't been trading for that long. So again, relative high up here, relative low is going to be this last candle that was created back in what, June 7th. I mean, as far as a breakout, you guys can probably play it as soon as this breaks to the upside and then run it all the way to like $19 or so. But as far as direction wise on Monday, let's see what's the charts look like. I'd say, I mean, what is it? What does the power look like? For sell off, I'd say it has a chance to kind of keep going up. I mean, what happened the last time we sold off? Because it's creating a perfect sell off on the day chart. I just want to see what happened last time. So last time we sold off, we went from highs of down to what? Peak low of so we went down about $6. Yeah, that's a nice drop off from $15 to here. If we don't beat out, if we don't go over this relative high of like 14.97, like if we don't beat it out, there's a solid chance that we might drop another $6.39. To be honest, like from these highs right here. So what, $6.39 in 13 days? Let's go 13 days. $6.39. I mean, that would probably be my guess, to be honest. I'd say Wish is probably going down from here. I mean, there's no reason for me to think that Wish is going to be. I mean, what is the 4 hour? 4 hour is, yeah, the 50 is still under the 200. So if I had to guess, I'd say it's not going to break all time highs. Look at this, and it keeps. Look at the structure too. Look at the structure. Look, higher low, or lower high, lower. I mean, oh wait, sorry, higher low, higher low, higher low. Like yeah, I'd say as far as if I had to take a guess, I'd say it's going down. To be honest, like I wouldn't be surprised to see Wish sometime this week at like back at like what $8.32. Like I would not be surprised to see Wish back there. I mean, on the weekly, there's definitely a lot of bull power. One, two, yeah, there's a lot of bull power on the weekly. To be honest, the daily is about to create a perfect sell-off, but we had a lot of buying power come in June 24th. If I had to take a guess on Wish, I'd say there's a strong chance that it's probably going back down to like that $8 mark that I told you guys. I mean, it did break the trend. I don't know. I wouldn't do any play on Wish yet. If I had to take a guess, I don't know. There's a lot of momentum to the upside. You know what? I might actually think that it's gonna run towards like it might run to like $17. I mean, Wish might run to $17 just because it's starting. You know, it really started to move. It broke the trend. I think it might be. I think it might be running back up to what price is this? $17.93. I think that might be the price that it might go to. I mean, I think short term it might. Eh, I don't know. Wish is kind of hard. Wish is definitely a little harder because I mean, on the day chart, it does look like it's gonna sell off back to that eight, like around $8 or so. But on the weekly chart, if I was just looking at weekly, I'd say buy. I'd say you still have a solid buy-in right now. Honestly, I'd say that it's at least going back to. Let's see. Yeah, I mean we have support there. We have some there. Structure there. Structure there. Where's the next piece of structure? We got structure there. We got a little bit of structure there. Yeah, I'd say the next one would be like right. So I mean, as far as actual price structure, like there's not. It doesn't have too many obstacles in its way to go back to all-time highs if it stays consistent like this. But if it does break out of this, like, what price is this? 13.87, $14 mark. Yeah, I think next price point would probably be like $16 and like I mean sorry, like $17 and like 68 cents. Um, I don't know if I was gonna play Wish. I don't know, man. This was kind of a tough one to be honest. I don't. If I had to guess, I would. You know what? I would say up. If I had to take a wild guess, I'd say up. But there's not too many confirmations on Wish for me to actually make a play. To be honest, so for Wish, it's kind of difficult right now, honestly. Um, so I don't want to give you any bad information. I don't want you to have like, I don't want you to buy or sell and then you end up losing money. I'm gonna with Wish. I'd say I'm probably biased towards the upside just because the weekly is looking super bullish. Um, but as far as anything else, I would personally keep away from it just because there's no clear, there's no clear move, right? On Wish, there's no. I mean, it broke trend, but as far as any other like confirmation that I can see, there's nothing that I would think that would make it keep going up or sell off. I would not buy into this until maybe it actually breaks like it breaks this price point or breaks that resistance and you know if it does something like this, like I'll be honest, if it does something like this, maybe goes like halfway and then from here comes back down and retests, comes back and retests like $13-14, then I would probably buy because the likelihood of it moving up is going to be super high. So I would only be buying this if we break this candle or if we break this resistance to the upside, come back and retest these highs and then shoot up to $17.80 or whatever. That's the only time that I would play Wish, to be honest. I don't personally like the company, so I can't say fundamentally I support it. I don't really shop on Wish. I don't care too much about Wish. Um, But I would say that, that the only way that I would get in is either that happens or we break previous all-time highs, in which case I'd use the breakout strategy that I showed you guys to run it up to whatever price it's like. I don't know, whatever price it tells me to go. AMC Tilray update, still bullish. Still bullish on Tilray, holding till September. If anything changes, I'll post the video and I'll sell out. But as of right now, I'm still pretty bullish on Tilray. AMC, Macho Man, bro. I'm not gonna do anything on AMC. I cannot get AMC right, and you guys know this. So I'm not gonna touch AMC. I'm not gonna talk about AMC. I think AMC is, if it goes up or down, I don't care. Just because I more than likely will be 100% wrong on whatever decision I take on AMC. So I will not even be making a video of what I think about AMC, man. It's crazy. The short interest is higher than last time for AMC when it shot up to 70s. I'm bullish this week. Oh, possibly. We can only assume that hedge funds and bigger institutions are actually adding to their position for, let's say, like a highly shorted stock like GameStop or AMC, right? So there's actually a strategy that I use on Forex. It's not just for that, but it's called a martingale. It's called the martingale system, right? And you're essentially just kind of doubling your positions as soon as it hits new all-time highs. So, Macho Man, if you're still watching, bro, this is essentially what you can do for GameStop to kind of break even. So, I'll use, I don't know, what can I use for? Let's use Clove, because I don't want to mess up my charts, right? So for Clove, right? We'll use Clove as an example. So let's say I'm shorting Clove at, I don't know, dude, somewhere like $10, right? Let's say I'm shorting Clove at $10. If I'm thinking, I'm thinking right here, right? I'm thinking in this price range. Can I use a highlighter like that? Oh, you know what? Let's do yellow, so it'd be easier to kind of. Oh, that's ugly. What the heck? You know what? We'll just use a square. Let's say I'm shorting right there, right? Oops. Let's say I'm shorting in this section right here. If Clove ends up reaching new all-time highs, generally what these big institutions can is they have a much better understanding of where price can actually top out at. They have a lot more money. They have a lot more people that are way smarter than us, than you can even possibly imagine. Like, these people have mathematicians, engineers, they have, scientists. They have an insane amount of smart people that are at these hedge funds, bro. Like, you can't. If someone told me that's like, hey, are you gonna bet on a hedge fund winning or like an individual? 100%, I would put my money on the institution. 100%. They're insanely more capable and have an insane amount more resources than we do, right? That being said, this is a theory, right? This is something that I use to short currencies or buy currencies or whatever. But let's say a hedge fund or a big institution starts shorting Clove at $10, and then let's say it shoots all the way up to $17, and their modules, their systems, their algorithms, whatever, they're like, oh, you know what? This might be the top, right? So guess what? They start shorting here. They start shorting at this $18, $17 level on Clove, and before, where their previous take profit would be somewhere like, let's say, $5, somewhere like in this level. Now, because they have such a big position up here, instead of their take profit being down here, now their take profit is going to be somewhere here in the middle. Because what? They're shorting here, and they double their position up here. So guess what? Now their new take profit is somewhere in the middle. And as soon as price goes back down to like one of these levels, they can get out of this position and immediately be out of the trade in profit, right? But let's say, let's say they're a little bit more greedy, right? Let's say they short here, and now, out of nowhere, price shoots up, right? And again, their systems are like, or their algorithms like, hey, it looks like bull momentum is kind of dying. You guys should probably start shorting somewhere in this range. So let's say they don't do all-time high. Let's say they add more shorts in here. So let's say they have $1 million in shorts here, they'll do 2 million here, and they'll do like another 2 million or 4 million here. So guess what? Now instead of their take profit being up here or down up here, guess what? Now their take profit is somewhere in this area right here, and that's an insanely high. Look at that difference, right? Look at the difference of take profit. Their take profit went from being at $5-6 to being somewhere in the range of 12-13 bucks of them being profitable to them being in the range of like 20-21 bucks, and that just gives them a lot more power because they have a lot more money. They're a lot more liquid, right? They can afford these short positions. If they're shorting $1 million here, shorting 2 million, shorting 4 million, that kind of guarantees that they're going to be in profit every single time. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't understand is that, hedge funds, they're not stupid. They're insanely smart. They're not going to go around and making big positions without knowing exactly how to get out of them, right? Unless it's the case of like GameStop or maybe AMC and stuff, right? But generally, with other positions, that's kind of what they tend to do. So I would not be surprised if shorts just keep adding and adding and adding to their position, to be honest, just because that's a really good way of getting out of a short in profit. So just going into what Macho Man X12 said, or Macho Man 12, that's kind of what that's what I would think. That's what my theory would be of what's it called, of how these hedge funds, how they're actually making money, how they're going to get out in profit. And what they're generally doing to kind of stay afloat in their positions. Again, GME and AMC are probably going to be a different case, but every other shorted stock, they're probably going to come out winning 100%. I think that 100%. What's up, man? Still bearish on BTC, of course. Still bearish on Bitcoin. The only reason I won't be bearish on Bitcoin is, I put out a couple videos of when I will not be. I don't know why I did that. Of when bits. The only way that I will not be. Sorry, there's my Coinbase. The only way that I will not be. What is it called? The only way that I will not be bearish on Bitcoin is, just to use this as an example, right? Look at the weekly. On the weekly, we just went bullish on the reverse MACD, creating bottoms, right? Because what's happening? We sold off to a lower low to 28K, and we're still trending down. I still think we're gonna go back to like 32K. I can guarantee you that. I would add. I'm not gonna add to my shorts because I have my shorts up here, right? I don't need to add any more money to my shorts. As soon as we cross this level down 32, as soon as we actually break and we go down to 26K, as soon as we go down here, that's when I'll probably sell all my shorts and start my buying position. So I'll buy at 26K. I'm gonna buy at 23K, 20K, 15K, 16K. I'm gonna buy at all these positions, right? But again, the only way that I think Bitcoin is gonna keep rallying to the upside is if July closes bullish. If July closes bearish, I think that we're going to be going into a pretty heavy bear market, to be completely honest. So everything kind of is in the hands of July. As of right now, May is closing. As of right now, May closed bearish. June closed bearish. And if July ends up closing bearish, I'm like 80% sure that August is going to close bearish as well, and we're going to have a full Bitcoin correction of 70 to 80% within like 200 days or so. But the only way that I will be bullish on Bitcoin is if July closes if July closes bullish on my reverse MACD. That's the only way that I'm gonna be that I'm gonna think that Bitcoin's going up. To be honest, no other way that I think Bitcoin is gonna rally unless it closes bullish for July. Am I playing GME this week? The only way that I'm getting back into GameStop is if it hits 180, 190 or so. I want to see. Now that it's added to the Russell, I want, because that bullish buy-in that it had on late Friday where it rallied to like 209, it didn't actually cross. It didn't do any big movement, to be honest. The monthly just crossed bearish. The weekly closed bearish back at that last week. I still think we're going down to 180. I think that's gonna be my buy-in price. If GameStop, oh look, it's touching. Look, it touched the 50 MA almost exactly. Oh, you know what? It might not actually go to 180. My buy-in price might now be like 198 probably. So I think it still has that gap to fill. I think that as of now, I would be comfortable buying GameStop at like 196, 198. I think that might be my next buy-in for GameStop. I think. But yeah, the weekly just crossed bearish. The monthly just June. It looks like June's gonna close bearish. Um, but yeah, I think if I do buy back into GameStop, I think it's not gonna be until it won't be until next week. If it goes anywhere in the 197 price range, that's probably when I'm gonna buy in. I think my buying price for a GameStop is gonna be 197, and I'll buy like another 60 shares, 100 shares. I don't know. I don't know how much I'm gonna buy. I was thinking of buying 100 shares of GameStop just so I'm able to actually sell calls because the premium is so good, man. It's hard to pass up the premium on GameStop. But yeah, I think if GameStop hits like 190, I don't think it's gonna hit 180 anymore. Um, there's still a probability. I just want to see how it actually reacts to the Russell edition because it didn't move as high as I wanted it to on Friday after it was officially announced. But we'll see. I do plan on getting back into GameStop though. Let me see. Can you do TA on Tattoo Chef? TTCF. Sure, bro. I've been hearing a lot of Tattoo Chef. Tattoo Chef? There you go, Tattoo Chef. I have no idea what Tattoo Chef is. Absolutely no idea what this is. I don't know what they do. I don't know what I'm assuming food, but apart from that, I have like no idea what Tattoo Chef actually does, like what they're actually doing. Um, I would probably not buy them honestly. I mean, look at that power, look at that bull power. It's so weak right now. Look at that. It actually trended down on that signal right there, and on the weekly. Oh, look at that. No, hell no. I would not be buying Tattoo Chef right now. I think it's going to go down. That would be an easy tell right there. Let me see if I can go lower. Yeah, I mean, it's staying pretty consistent in the trend, I think. And it just gave that... it's essentially a perfect sell-off right now. I would say it's a perfect sell-off. I would not be buying Tattoo Chef right now. What are we at? What was the last rundown that it had? It went from what, like 25, 26 bucks? What was the peak low? So this was the last candle. Last candle was here. What was the lowest? Lowest was, it went down $8.47. So when did it get created? When did this get created? So right here. I think it goes down in what, 35 days? 35 days, $8.47. Well, that's a big boy drop right there. Yeah, that would be my guess for Tattoo Chef, honestly. This would be my guess. I would think the next drop for Tattoo Chef would probably be either in the range of like maybe $16 to like $12.50. But I think we're going down. I would not be. I would be selling right here. I would definitely be buying puts at least a month out, a month and a half out for like $16. I think that definitely hits. Honestly, I think that price point is gonna hit pretty good. Um, yeah, that sucks. Like I said, if I had to actually guess, Tattoo Chef, I would say is probably gonna go at worst $12.58. Honestly, um, best case scenario, it goes back to $16 and rallies towards the upside. I think that's what's gonna happen. It just crossed over on the weekly bullish chart like that. The reverse MACD is telling me to sell all my longs. It created perfect tops on the stochastic, and the last rundown, the last drop it had was from 24 bucks to the worst of being like $17, which is what, like a $7, $8 drop. Again, somewhere around like that $12 price range. I would be very comfortable saying that, you know, it's gonna drop to like that low, and I'd be buying puts right now. Unfortunately, if you have a position in this, that's what I think, right? And you know what? We can use this as a perfect example of what's happened for the breakout strategy on Tattoo Chef. Look at that. So relative high, relative low is this candle right here, created on March 9th of 2020. So that was back in COVID. So look what happened. Perfect example of how the breakout strategy can work for you guys. Look at that. Perfect example. What happened? As soon as it broke towards the upside, what happened? 1 week, next week, immediately it ran up, right? So again, you guys would have this like perfect, like let's say somewhere like, I don't know, like right there. I'm just kind of gauging price right now, honestly. So what would have happened if you guys actually had calls as soon as it broke out in price? Let me zoom in a little bit more. Tattoo Chef, again, perfect example of using the breakout strategy. What would have been your first take profit? First take profit would have been here. First take profit, boom. Second, boom. Third, like right there. Perfect example of how the breakout strategy can make you guys money every single time. I'm telling you guys, this strategy I've been using for a while. It has like a, I don't know, like a 90% chance of hitting every single time. And this is what you guys would have bought. Like if you guys would have bought in here, again, look what happened. It broke to the upside. You guys would have probably bought somewhere in this price range, put a buy limit back at the fib, at the one fib, so around 20 bucks. It retested and it shot all the way up the following week to highs of what? Highs of $28.68. What were these highs of? Of $28.68. So you guys would have easily taken the first two profits on that same week. So profit one would have been on that week. Profit two would have hit on that same week. Profit three, take profit, would have hit on the following week. So as soon as this happened, you guys would have bought like a month out calls, and guess what? They would have hit in the next week or two easily. So again, Tattoo Chef, perfect example of what can happen. Again, look at these jumps to the upside. Relative high, if right now, relative high would be $24.27. If Tattoo Chef ends up breaking that previous high of $24.27, what is the plan here? As soon as there's a candle that gets created above this, now you know the next target is $29.82, about like a month or two out. And look at that. Every single rally that it has, look at that. It's about a month out. 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles. So 2 months out to really hit that last, that third TP. For the first breakout, 1, 2, it took about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Again, what can we assume? As soon as this gets broken out, we can assume that you should be buying calls at least a month out, because that's when we can expect price to break out towards that $29. So Tattoo Chef, short term, I do think it's going down to that whatever price I told you about. I mean, all signs point to down, honestly. I'd say minimum, it goes back down to like, I don't know, like $15, $16, I think, minimum. And then if this price ever gets broken of 24, 27, then yeah, I think it's definitely going to shoot up to $29.82. That's definitely a possibility right there, to be honest. Perfect example of a breakout. Go look at Tattoo Chef. Go practice your fibs. Go practice that take profit, that 3 set range right there. Perfect example of how to make money right there. Perfect example. Align. I'm actually in I'm in a line right now. Still bullish. Thoughts on PaySafe? I actually own PaySafe. I think I bought a couple shares, I think. PaySafe. What is it? PSFE? PSFE? I think I might have a chart set up already on PaySafe. Yeah, I do. What does my chart look like? Bullish weekly. Daily is oh man, damn it. There's a gap that got created. That's fine. Perfectly filled that gap back here. Oof. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm still pretty insanely bullish on PaySafe. I think it's gonna run back to like, I don't know, like $14, 15, $16. I think that's my price target for a little bit longer, because the only reason it came back down was to fill this gap back here at $10 and $11.40. It came back, filled this gap, and I think now it can actually keep running towards the upside. So pay safe long term. I actually like the company a lot, I like their fundamentals. But guess what? It cleared that gap right here. It filled it back on May 10th, and I think if it starts running to the upside, I think there's a solid chance of PaySafe breaking previous highs of what, $19.53. And once that high gets broken again, you guys can use, whoops, wrong way. You guys can use the fib setup again. Guess what? You guys can use it to determine where price is going. As soon as there's a candle that gets created that's broken here, we can the next ride is gonna be up to $25. But yeah, I think PaySafe, after filling that gap, I'm definitely bullish. I don't know how many shares of PaySafe I hold, but it's definitely a good chunk. It's definitely a couple grand of PaySafe. Lower highs, yeah, I know I was probably getting it wrong. Lower highs, higher lows. I haven't talked about structure in such a while, in such a long time. Whatever happened to your TLT calls? I still have them. I still have all my TLT calls. I think I have like, what is it, 4 or 5 TLT calls expiring next year, I think. So my TLT, again, give me a second, guys. I gotta get my baby like fell over. Again, TLT, I'm extremely confident that TLT might actually be back to like 170 by like next year, February, next year, March or something. I think it's definitely gonna rally to those highs. So that's why I bought calls for TLT. I think my calls expire next year, like way late. I think I bought like December 2022 calls just to be on the safe side. But I own like 4 or 5 TLT calls. I think total it was like $3,000, $4,000, I think. But I'm doing this to hedge. I do think that something weird is going on in the market, and that's why I bought these calls about a year or so plus out, because I do think TLT is going to go jump to the upside, back to or at least close to all-time highs. Because I mean, even the yield, the 10-year yield is, we're closing this month, or we're closing June, 100% bearish, man. I can guarantee you that. We have what, like 2 days left? Look at that. We have 2 days left on the trading month, right? I think we're gonna crash. I think we're gonna see new all-time lows on the 10-year. I think the yield is just gonna keep dropping like this. There's plenty of historical movements to let me be confident enough that this month drop is gonna. I mean, look at this. I can go back so long and let you guys know exactly, like from 4 drop to 2. Look at that. It's just there's too many things that can happen when the monthly closes bearish. If I could short the US 10-year, 100% I would. But I can guarantee you I would need for a bank to actually create this for me. I would need to go to like a bank and be like, hey, I want to short the US 10-year yield. I have a $50 million, right? That's the only way. And because I can't do that, I don't have $50 million to short the US 10-year. I got to go with the correlating chart, which is the bonds. And whenever yields drop, bonds rise. And this is basically why I'm buying TLT towards the upside. Because I'm not exactly saying that I'm buying TLT for the rise. It's more of I'm buying TLT calls because I think the US 10-year is going to completely sink. That's basically why I'm buying TLT, because when yields drop, bonds tend to go up. So it's like a correlating. It's like an inversion. It's an inversely correlated chart. When you're releasing, man, there's a bunch of people. Holy crap, bunch of messages. Once GME retests 180, does it fill the gap at 295 and then the hype stops, or does it keep busting up? I think GME keeps running. To be honest, I think GME is going to keep running. I don't know what's going to happen to GameStop if the overall market crashes. I know the sentiment here is that if the market crashes, GameStop and AMC are going to keep running. But GameStop and AMC were already shorted. Were already being shorted last year during the pandemic, and GameStop and AMC dropped to all-time lows. But they didn't have as much buying power as they do now. So it's kind of hard to tell. But I do think I would have to guess that GameStop and AMC might rally if everything else drops. But I do think overall I'm extremely bullish on GameStop. I think that it's still going to keep going towards the upside, and it's going to stay on a constant gradual uptrend. I think that it's going to constantly be creating new lower highs, I think. When you're releasing the MACD, so Andrew, Drever, I want to release it, but I've actually had people wanting to pay me for the MACD, and then people are saying that I should throw it into like a subscription, and other people are saying, oh, I'll buy the code off you or whatever. But I would love to give it out for free and stuff, but I have too many people asking me about it, and too many people that are willing to buy it off me, and I got bills to pay, man. I mean, if somebody can offer me like a couple $1,000, if somebody can offer me like a couple grand to like buy it off me, or to like, you know, have it live like on TradingView or like a specific broker or whatever, and I can get a cut of that, I'd probably take that deal, to be honest. I mean, I would definitely tell you guys where it's going to end up. I might give it away for free. I might sell it to somebody. I might release the code so people can play with it. I might, you know, customize it a little bit and then set it up as like a trial on like a subscription on TradingView for people to use. I don't know what's going to happen, man. At first I was going to release it, honestly, for free. And then I got a bunch of people asking me like, oh, hey, I'll pay you like a couple, whatever, to do this. And I'm just kind of like, I got bills to pay, bro. So I don't know what to do, right? I don't know. I might just one day just be like, you know what? I don't even care. Like, I'm just gonna release it. I don't care. But we'll see. I have not decided when I'm actually gonna be releasing that reverse MACD, to be honest. DKNG. I mean, I can look into that. I've been in Wish since the 18th, wondering if I should sell Monday or Tuesday. Apparently Monday might be a hedge fund buyback run day, but Reddit isn't always right. With meme plays, I don't do any fundamental research, only TA and hedge fund short interest. Yeah, meme plays generally tend to play out really according to popularity. So, I mean, you guys can kind of go to like Google Trends and see how popular something is, like a certain ticker or a company, and that might even honestly let you guys know everything you need, right? So, to be honest, did you see the bullish pennant on AMC? I didn't. No, I actually didn't see it. I haven't been looking at AMC all that much, to be honest. 31 people watching and only 8 likes. Hit that like button, folks. Pretty dope for Tony to take time and jump on live for us. Oh, thanks, man. Loves Warcry. Oh, thank you. Oh, I just saw the likes jump to 17. Thank you, guys. I'm not used to saying like, oh, hey, hit the like button and stuff. But I mean, if you guys are on, that'd be great. Everybody go and hit that like button, man. I mean, I guess it pushes out my video to like other people and stuff. So great. Silver Burst, good luck, bro. Thank you. Thanks for the Fubo, bro. Appreciate it. All good, man. Yep, your Fubo call out was free money. Cheers, mate. Oh, good, man. Yeah, Fubo, I definitely think Fubo's going to keep rallying to $40, man. I think Fubo's going to do great. Can you do a TA on Roku? When would you ever use the 1 hour chart? Roku. So I think somebody actually asked me about Roku. I think it was Marcos. Marcos, can you do? Oh yeah, Marcos. Yeah, Marcos. So monthly. Oh, monthly looks fantastic, man. Would I buy Roku right now? ugh, I would have probably bought Roku. I would have only bought Roku back at like, I think April 5th. I would have probably bought in on Roku back on May 17. Um, I would only buy it right now, again, using that breakout strategy. So I wouldn't actually buy in until it breaks previous highs of 487, basically 488, right? So I wouldn't buy in here. It'll have to create a candle up, and then I'd probably play it towards 666 for the breakout strategy. But the 1 hour chart, I don't really use the 1 hour chart all that much. It really depends on how like what kind of macro level you're actually looking at. So I use the 1 hour to kind of determine how big bullish pushes are. I use it only on my reverse MACD. I tend to not really use it for anything else. I don't. It's kind of hard to give an example. So, like here, right? The 4 hour chart. We're on the 4 hour. It's looking like it's pretty bearish, right? Like we're creating tops. The 4 hour is looking like we're creating, basically we created a perfect sell-off June 24th, but we've just been trailing sideways. We haven't been doing anything. So on that, if that was the case, this day still, it's losing a little bit of momentum, but it's not going down. It's trading sideways. In that which case, I go to the 1 hour. What's happening on the 1 hour, right? You can kind of determine what's going on. So the 1 hour, you created tops back in June 17, right? So every single bear push to the downside, it hasn't been doing anything. It hasn't been doing anything. No bear power has actually done anything. So in a case like this, where all the higher time frame charts are actually bullish, the 1 hour would be my buy-in prices. So I would be buying in on June 21st. I'd be buying in here. I'd buy in again on June 22nd, right in this price range. Again, I'd buy here, and I would probably be buying again. At 427, which was on Friday, right? Friday was at close. So I would use the 1 hour to kind of buy in at micro lots, because it does look like Roku's going to keep rallying. And again, the next support for Roku. Let me see. I don't actually have any support lines. I was just using the fib because I was looking at the breakout chart, or the breakout. What is it called? The breakout strategy. So we'll put them in real quick. Support and resistance there. We got another one here. No, not really. We got another one right there. We got more right. I'd say we got another one right here. Well, that's a weird one. 37.66. I'd say right there. We got more support here. Where would we have it? Right? Is that too low? No, I'd say like right there. I'm not gonna create any more because it's kind of pointless to keep going lower. But I'd say easy. Next stop for Roku is gonna be 441. There's a bunch of resistance there, so I think the next stop would be here. And then after breaking 441, I definitely think it's gonna rally back to 484. The gap between resistance and support is just too big. I do think that after this, if it breaks this section, if it breaks this price point of 442, I think the next stop after that is going to be 484. But yeah, 100%. I'm 100% bullish on Roku. And like I said, the only way that I would use that 1 hour is to kind of like actually give me a sentiment of how strong bull or bear pushes are. In this case, all the higher time frames are bullish, and every single time the 1 hour is telling me to sell off, or it's going to sell off, it just keeps pushing towards the upside. So I would use the 1 hour as buy-in for like micro lots. So again, I'd start buying not here. I'd buy at this price range. I'd buy here, and then I would also buy the next one, which is right like around this price range. That's kind of what I would use the 1 hour for, although it's rare. It's very rare. Ooh, nice. I got a super chat, bro. What the heck? Oh, 2 super chats. Danny D. Learned so much from you since Doggy at 8 cents. Oh, dude, Doggy has been an insane run, man. I love Doggy has made me so much fucking money, dude. I mean, I hope my family isn't watching, but I made like $250,000 on Doggy, man. Don't repeat that, but I made like $250,000 on Doggy. So I hope none of my family is watching, but because I don't have a video of how much I actually made. But Marcos, I hope that Roku chart helped you. I do think, and I hope the 1 hour explanation, that 1 hour explanation for the chart helps you guys out. But let me look at the super chat. Marcos, thanks again. Oh, dude, you again, bro. Thank you, man, for supporting, bro. So would you buy Baidu if it goes past 205? Let's look at Baidu. Are you saying, Marcos, are you saying that because it broke BIDU? Did it break previous highs or what? Oh, dude. Ugly. Wait, what? Oh, I'm on the hour. That doesn't matter too much. I don't think that matters too much. Let's see what's going on. Let me see what we can do. Let me set these up a little bit better. What was that question again? Would you buy Baidu if it goes past 205? 204.77. See, the thing is, I don't like when you have. I wouldn't say these are peak enoughs to use the breakout strategy on. You can definitely use it. I'd recommend going to the weekly chart to actually use it. But the reason I don't like using it on a chart like this is because you got to remember that you have support right here at 222. So if we actually did that breakout strategy on Baidu, we would do peak highs of what, 205, right? Like 204, 205, whatever. So you have peak at, what is this? Like that's low, relative low, right here. How much battery do I have left? I have 26%. That's okay. I'll stay live for a little bit longer, but let's zoom in a little bit more to Baidu to see. Right? So I wouldn't say I wouldn't consider it, but you have to understand that you can't. It's kind of hard to buy in on Baidu here because the chart is so close to each other, right? Like I would probably be better off waiting for other charts that look like this. So let me see if we can buy Arrow. So it would be better if you had something like this. Like the chart looks something like this. And then it was like maybe something like this. Like that. Maybe something like, something that's relatively closer together where the support isn't all that, it's not too far off from each other, right? Whereas right now, let me delete all this stuff because I don't need it. Oops. Whereas right now, Baidu has it. I wouldn't say that's a relative high. I would wait till Baidu actually breaks the previous high up here of 355, which is kind of a long way up, to be honest, from 202, which it is. You're basically looking for Baidu to essentially go up like a full 50%. Towards this price, 1.618. I mean, it's right on that level, to be honest. I guess you can use it on this chart. Let me see where the actual resistance would be. Where would the actual resistance be? Let me see. So resistance would be at 222, which would put it at, where's that level? Let me see. So, yeah, actually, you know what? That's actually far enough where it would still hit. It would have major resistance at 222. So to go a little bit more in depth into this, I would actually say that for the most part, like a play like this, I would say maybe like, let's say like 5% here, 5% here, and then we just kind of extend it out to the outside. So on a play like this, let me put this a little bit lower, like what's middle ground, like right there. On a play like this, because there's such major resistance around this level because of that previous high, I would recommend taking most of your profit at that first take profit, which would be like 219.35, right? And then your actual runners would be here at like 221. So you wouldn't use this setup for you wouldn't use that 3-point setup for this specific chart just because you have major resistance here, right? I would more than likely, if you have 10 calls, for example, or if you have like 100 shares, take most of your profit here on that very first take profit. I would do like an 80% take profit here. If you have 100 shares, grab 80 of your shares and take them out, and then grab the other 20 at like 221. But again, it really depends on what the charts look like. Like there's such strong support here. There's such strong support here that I would not do anything with that third take profit. It would all have to be taken within that first and second level, to be honest. That's why if this was a little bit higher, if price didn't go this low down here, if you actually saw this chart kind of like this, watch. So if you actually saw this bounce up to like maybe like here somewhere, right? And then actually come back down to these regular prices where Baidu is, then I would say, oh, these are easily going to hit, right? Because major resistance isn't up until this level. So these would probably easily hit, right? And then the next time this actually breaks, you would actually take profit on that next fib level, right? And then again, once Baidu breaks its previous highs of 355, that's when you would do this process all over again. But like I said, because it's such, the resistance is so close to where this section is or to where that fib level is, I would be taking profit at that first and second level, to be honest. I hope that explains your question, man. Marcos, I hope that explains it, to be honest. And thank you, Danny, for the $2, man. That's fantastic, man. Thanks, guys, for the help. That's so crazy. Let me go back to these comments, bro. I'm already at an hour live. This goes by so fast. This goes by so fast. Oh man. AI. Oh, AI, dude, I'm losing so much money on AI. I think I'm down like 10-20% on AI. I'm still gonna keep holding just because I like AI. But yeah, AI is hurting so bad right now. I'll do one more TA for you guys, and then I'm gonna head out because I didn't realize that I've been on here for an hour. So thank you to everybody that came on. I'll do one more TA, and then I'm probably gonna bounce just because it's Sunday and I want to go hang out with my wife and my kid. Oh, Matthew, dude, thank you. $5 to Matthew. Thanks, bro. I guess that'll be the question I answer. How do you use the forecast arrow tool to determine the actual date and price on where it will land? So, I haven't really gotten into the forecast tool that much. What are some good examples? I guess I can use Tesla as an example. So I actually recently just rode Tesla. I just rode Tesla to, I think I bought calls at 620, and I sold my calls like around, I don't know, like 680, I think. So I made a pretty decent chunk off of that. Generally, what I like to do is look at recent history of what moves are like. So my MACD gave me a sell your shorts, right? So I'm essentially buying right now. How much did it actually move? From peak lows, it went from here, and then it was actually bullish for this whole section right here, right? So I would look at the actual high, and I would have basically, it would have done something like this, right? So forecast tool. I'm looking at the MACD. What did it actually do? It was bullish for what? 4 weeks. It gave me that signal, bullish for 4 weeks. What happened? Peak low was 661. Peak high was 780. Difference was $119, right? It did that in 7 days. So in this case, if I get that same signal relatively around the same price range, so it's giving me that signal same place at the 25 MACD. Again, similar around 17 MACD for that signal. And the Stoke is generally around the same place of where it gave that signal, right? So it was right here. Again, general area of where it actually gave that trigger, right? So what happened last time? In 7 days, it went up $119 from peak lows. So peak low would be right here on this trigger, and it went up in 7 days up what? $119. So 119 right there. So peak high for June 21st was 697. So it didn't actually hit 712, but it got relatively close to that support, right? And I would generally use this to take profit or know when to take profit. So I would think that Tesla might still have a little bit more room to go up on the upside, but I would be more conservative again, and I would probably do from this level down, like, let's do what's like 5% from here. Not 5%, but let's do like, what is it, like 2.5, right? Generally, let's do 2.5. Yeah, so 2.5. I would have taken my profit here at this 696 level, which it did hit. So we did, the high you guys can see on the top of the chart up here, it hit 697, 62. As soon as it hit like 695, I would have probably started taking profit immediately on those calls. And I did. I think I had 2 calls of Tesla. I think I sold one of those calls as soon as it crossed this 650 level, and I sold the other one at like 680 or something, I think. So this is generally how I would use the forecast tool to kind of predict where I'm going. And if I do have a support on the weekly, I'd go down about 2.5%, and I would take most of my profit there. So that's kind of how I would use the forecast tool to kind of like determine this, right? So another good example of this is Bitcoin, right? So I actually use Bitcoin or the forecast tool to determine what kind of a drop I could actually expect for kind of like the future instances of happen here, right? So again, looking at previous sell-offs, you guys can see that generally we have between a 40 to 50% correction or 70 to 80% correction in a certain amount of time. I would do the exact same thing here. What was the high? The high from us was around 60K, right? So I would do either a 40 to 50% correction, or from here I would do 70 to 80% in whatever the average amount of days are. And they tend to generally be sort of accurate, and that's how I would use the forecast. So it all really depends on historical movement. You have to look at every single, it takes a lot of time, but generally you tend to be pretty accurate. I'd say it's 80 to 90% accurate on at least a general area of the forecast. So that's how I would use the, That's how I would use the forecast tool. I hope that explains it a little bit better. Can you chart workhorse, big short interest? Sure. You know what? I'll do workhorse for the last one, and then that's kind of it, just because my laptop is at 19% and it's starting to get super low right now. So workhorse, what is it looking like? The month is looking like it's going to keep going towards the upside, honestly. I would... what would I say is the high here? Workhorse looks like... if you were holding long term, I'd say it's set up to be a nice rally to the upside. I would be buying Workhorse right now on fundamentals if you guys think it's a good company. I would be buying Workhorse right now because the chart definitely looks like it's gonna be it's starting to really show signs of being super bullish. Would I do anything different? No. In order to actually do like a breakout on this, I would probably wait till it breaks $42. I don't think I would probably do it here at $18.66 just because I think is price too close by? I don't know. I think for workhorse, if the short interest is high, that's something that would be a little bit more. Maybe somebody else can answer it, but I would probably buy workhorse just on the chart by looking at it right now, just on the long term, just because the monthly is about to cross on the actual on the bullish side. And last time we had a nice pop up like this, we went from 39 cents to $5. So that's like a solid jump in price. I would more than likely do a percentage here. So I would say that it's looking, just on the monthly chart, it's looking like it's going to break that $42 mark. I would not play this on the short side or how much it's shorted, just because I don't know how much it's actually shorted. I would more than likely just buy this off fundamentals, and just because the monthly is actually looking like it's going to be pretty, like it's going to explode to the bullish side. I think workhorse is going to be pretty strong for the next couple months or so. Basically towards beating 42. Once it actually breaks that 42, then I'll more than likely do that breakout strategy here. But workhorse definitely looks like a buy, especially if you read up on the fundamentals. I'd be buying it. As far as short interest, I don't know, to be honest. I haven't looked at the short interest for workhorse. Can't really say. 60% shorted. I mean, it could definitely go either way. It just depends on how much buying power you actually have for workhorse, to be honest. And I wouldn't know how much. I haven't looked at workhorse all that much, and I would have to do a little bit more research on workhorse to actually see what's going on, to be honest. Let me see what else. I don't need the TA. I've already done my own TA. I just want to hear Tony opinion before. What's the bottom indicator? Bottom indicator is a Stoke. I'm using 1422, or what is it? 1433 are my settings, but it's a stochastic. You need to charge your laptop while you're doing the live stream. I would charge it, but I want to keep my live streams to about an hour because I want to hang out with my wife and my baby. I pray Monday is a good day. Me too, bro. Big gap. TA is not a blue core. TA is not always right. You gotta be careful what Tony was wrong about. Yeah. AMC. You guys already know. Don't listen to me on AMC. AMC is not my stock, man. I cannot play AMC. I would not recommend you guys listen to me on AMC. AMC has been super crazy. I would not do any more AMC, according to like what I say. So yeah, low roller scratcher, 100%. Yeah, I would not trust me on AMC at all. I don't like AMC right now. It's been super bad to me. I never touch any AMC calls. I never touch any stock that Wall Street Bets is pumping unless I can get into before. Yeah, I agree with you, Blue Core. I do think that in order for you to actually get a good pump on any stock, if Wall Street Bets is talking about it, is to get in super early, to be honest. So, Danny D, I would pay to just know when you buy calls. I don't want to. So I'm not the kind of person who's gonna like ask you guys for like money and stuff just on my calls and stuff. Because I don't like people following what I do. You know, generally I like to think that I'm pretty correct at a lot of the stuff that I do, but I would not feel okay if I told you guys, hey, there's these 10 options that I'm looking at, buy all of them, and they all go sour, and you guys lose your money, right? Like I'm not that kind of person. I'm not gonna be. I'm more of like, I'd rather look into plays that I would make money on myself. Because right now, what I'm doing is essentially keeping a journal, right? So the videos that I put up are basically the plays that I'm doing, and if anybody wants to jump in, then great. But again, this is based off of plays that I'm doing to make myself money, not to make other people money, right? So you guys need to remember that. This isn't anything to... I will help you guys as far as learning TA, strategies, whatever, which are fantastic. Just that breakout strategy alone can make you guys a crap ton of money. Just be consistent, right, and know how to use it. But again, the YouTube or the stuff that I do is generally to make myself money, not to make other people money. You know, I don't want to be responsible for like other people losing cash or whatever. So I don't think I would ever put out like a signal or something, right? And then I would just feel bad. I would just feel bad. What's it called? To like really taking. I mean, honestly, just watch my YouTube videos, man. Like watch the ads. I don't want you guys to like pay me. Just watch the ads. YouTube will pay me, right? YouTube will give me their money, and I'll just keep making videos for you guys. That's it. Just watch my videos, give them likes, watch the ads, man. That's how I, what is it called? Whatchamacallit? That's generally how I would be happy. Just as long as YouTube keeps paying me, dude, I'll keep making these videos, and you guys don't have to pay me anything. How do you find your plays? I just look at, I just do charts, man. I mean, I look at stocks that are generally close to each other. If I'm looking at Tesla, I'm looking at Neo. If I'm looking at Neo, I'm looking at ChargePoint. If I'm looking at ChargePoint, I'm looking at Workhorse. If I'm looking at Workhorse, I'm looking at Blink. There's a lot of stocks that correlate with each other. So if you're looking at one, you have to start looking at the other ones. To be honest, that's kind of how you find plays. Or sometimes you just type in random tickers on TradingView, and you just happen to catch something. If Tony was wrong, your viewers get mad at Tony. You blame Tony. What does that mean? For AMC, do the opposite of what Tony does? 100%. We've already talked about this plenty of times. Who said that? Sammy? Yeah. If I do anything, if I do anything on AMC, I guarantee that if you guys do the opposite, you guys will make money every single time. If you guys see me like release a video on AMC that I bought calls, you guys need to buy puts, because AMC is like the absolute worst ticker that I've ever not seen, but personally ever done in my entire life. I just cannot seem to get AMC wrong. Tony is not a financial advisor. You need to say it every video. People will file lawsuits against you if you are wrong. I mean, I try to say that I'm not a financial advisor. I mean, do your own research, Same as Forex, like how the currencies move with each other. Yeah, same thing. A lot of currencies move with each other. Anything versus like the USD, for example. What is it called? Anything for the USD is gonna, it's gonna have correlation. Whether it's the US 30, the US 30, the USD JPY, USD, the Great Britain dollar, whatever. Give me a quick second, guys. All right, guys, I'm going to head out. Thank everybody for coming. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming. I got to end the live stream. I actually have something came up really quickly, so I gotta get out. I'm already been live for 100 for an hour and like 20 minutes. Thank you to everybody that gave me super chats, man. Super, super awesome. Is it a good idea to day trade or Roth IRA? Absolutely not. Your IRA should be there for you to be consistently putting money in. Do not day trade. Do not day trade your IRA. Do you think Bitcoin is going to drop under 20K in July? If July closes bearish on my reverse MACD, then 100% I do think we're going to go lower. I don't know how low exactly, but the chances of us going to 20K are extremely, extremely high if July closes bearish on my reverse MACD. With that being said, thank you everybody for coming. You guys are all awesome. Thank you everybody who gave me super chats. Still super, super cool. Everybody's doing it. Whenever you guys, see my videos, please give it a like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, man, tell your family, tell your mom, your dad, your brothers, sisters, anybody who wants to do something with stocks or whatever, just send them to my videos and hopefully they can help. Have a great night, guys. Have a great weekend. I will see all of you on Monday, hopefully. Bye.